What's going on, YouTube? Sunday. Actually, a pretty nice day outside, actually. Sun's going. Actually, let me close this curtain. I don't want it to be too light. So, just want to talk real quick about a subject that's been on my mind for quite some time. And this subject is called self-esteem. Basically, it's low self-esteem. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I think that low self-esteem is a danger if you're trying to reach financial freedom. And I'm going to give you an example. When I was coming up as a kid, I used to hear phrases where people used to say, all rich people are bad, they're arrogant, basically statements where it was just kind of like, be comfortable being poor. Because I grew up in poor beginnings, no one had money or wealth or anything like that, or nor knew anything about it. So as time came on, went on, I started to get to know, people with money and things like this, because I started studying the principles and things like that. And what I came to find out was the real rich people, not the ones who fake that they're rich and have credit card debts up to their eyeballs, actually were people with great character. They were actually people with discipline. They got up every morning, they ran. When they did activities, they did activities with the family. They were religious. They were frugal people. Most of their meals were at home. They drove modest cars, wore modest clothes. And I'm just like, wow. For some people who have all that characteristics, they don't seem like really bad people. So as time went on, I started finding, and talking to more poor people and things of that nature. And I found out that one thing that a lot of poor people have in common, and poor people, middle class, people who haven't succeeded in life, they seem to have a low self-esteem. Because they'll say things like, and we've said it myself too, you probably have said this before, I wish I could do such and such, but I'm not smart enough. Or I wish I could do this or do that, but, I don't think I have enough ability. And one of my downfalls, and I have to fight from time to time, is that when I have a new business idea or something, a lot of times I rush and go out and try to get the help of other people, instead of just having the confidence in myself and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this myself because I know I can do it. And it isn't that I don't know I can do it. It's just that I try to, I guess, reduce some fear by bringing other people on board or whatever you may call it, whatever. But here's the danger with low self-esteem. A lot of low self-esteem statements sound like this. They say things like, oh, I'm content where I'm at. I don't need all the glamour and the glitz and things like that, right? But yet, when they have to go to work, or when they see people with other cars, nice cars, or clothes, or houses, or traveling, they'll be the first to say, oh, I wish I could do that. So it's kind of like a hypocrite statement. Like on one terms, you're content with where you are, but then on another coin, you're like, hey, I wish I could have those kind of things. So my question is, why do you make those kind of statements? If you want those things, you got to go out and do it. But a lot of people, I think one of the big things is a lot of people hate making mistakes. They think a mistake is one of the 7 deadly sins or something, whatever kind of deal. Because, if you make a mistake, oh my gosh, what would the people think? What would my mom think, my dad think, and I'm just like, hey, mistakes are some of the best things that you can make. As long as you make mistakes that don't take all your earnings. What I mean by that is, when you're investing and when you're doing things, whatever, you don't bet the farm ever. You bet small percentages, or when you have a business idea, you don't go out and get a second mortgage or any crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You start small and you work your way up. That way, if you make mistakes, you're in a better position. Like, I give you a perfect example. I remember when I first started the business, I knew nothing about it. I had never read a business book. I never did anything. But one thing I've noticed from that time to now, it's like I almost have a PhD of knowledge. And the only reason I have it is because I made a lot of mistakes. I mean, there were times we did events and things like that, and people were like, "How did you do?" I'm like, "Man, we bombed." And then, the first thing people were saying was, "Yeah, I told you, you should have got a job. You should have did this, you should have did that. What you going to do next?" You know what? We're going to do it again. But this time we're going to switch a couple things and change a couple things around because I found out that I made a mistake in that area or this area, and then you go out and you're stronger the next time. Because that's life. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to bump your head. You're going to do what you got to do. But the people who succeed are the people that keep moving on. So I'm going to stay on this topic for quite some time because I think this is something that a lot of us need to understand for ourselves, that low self-esteem is an enemy in your life. And if you find out, I want you to ask yourself this question today. Do I have a low self-esteem? Watch the way you talk to your friends. Watch the way you answer questions to yourself about things that you want to try that are different. And you will find clues sometimes that, hey, maybe I do have a low self-esteem. Watch how you talk about yourself. So it's about 2 more days now. 2-3 more days. I'll be going to Nicaragua. I went out and bought my portable camera today. So I'm going to be filming that and letting you guys know what's going on with that and how that's going. So yeah, that's all for now. Just kind of like my Sunday get off the chest type thing. And I just want to hear your comments on this one. Tell me what you think your self-esteem is like and how it's held you back in life. Or, give me some video responses. I haven't had many video responses either. So, alright guys, well, thanks for listening to me and take care.